Hello friend, in today's video we will create object sorting project by using Raspberry Pi. So to detect the object we will use color mechanism. So what is mean by color mechanism? So object having two color, blue and yellow. So if the blue color is detected by the camera, then the servo motor rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Also the color name present on the LCD. So let's say my mobile is an object, and if I change the color from my mobile to yellow, then this servo motor rotate in clockwise direction. Also the color name present on LCD. So you can see I have changed my color to yellow so that the camera detect a yellow color. Also on LCD it is yellow color detected message present, and this servo motors start rotating in anti-clockwise direction. And if I change this color to blue, then this servo motor start rotating in clockwise direction. So I change my color to blue. So you can see blue color detected message present on LCD, and this servo motor start rotating clockwise direction. Also if there is no color, then this servo motor stop rotating and no color detected message print on LCD. So we will try to create this project in Proteus software. So I request you please watch this complete video so that you will get idea about Python language, also color detection mechanism program, also Raspberry Pi program. So before start the next part, I request you please subscribe my channel. So you can see currently I have 399 subscriber, and to verify my channel on YouTube I require 1000 subscriber, also 4000 watch hour, and this only possible because of you. So once you click on the subscribe button, it will motivate me, and definitely I will create a more video on Raspberry Pi so that you will learn many things from me. Currently you can see I have uploaded the more than 30 to 40 video on Raspberry Pi. The video starting from the LED, LCD, then IoT, then Proteus software. So if you want to learn Raspberry Pi from me from start, you should subscribe my channel. There are different types of library you need to install in your laptop, such like CV2 library, NumPy library, serial communication library. So how to install all this library in your Proteus to run this project, I have already explained in my face mask detection project. So please watch this video, face mask detection project, and in that video there is one chapter how to install the library. Please watch this software installation process chapter completely so that you will able to install the Python 3 software in your laptop. Also different types of OpenCV library that need in your project. Next part is you have to design this project in your laptop. So this is a Proteus software, and to how to install this Proteus software already explained in my how to use Proteus software video. So please watch this video also, and please watch face mask detection video also, both the videos, so that you can able to install all the library required for your project. I will provide you video link in the description. Okay, once you download all the library from my previous video, the next part is we will try to create this project in Proteus software. So if you want to create this project in Proteus software, go to your Proteus software, right click on this Proteus software, click on run as administrator, then click on yes. Now your Proteus software will start opening. Then once Proteus software open, then click on new project. Okay, once you click on new button, then give the project name here, that is object sorting. Then click on next button, then click on create schematic, then click on next button, then click on do not create PCB layout, then click on next button, then click on create firmware project, then go to the family, and from family select Raspberry Pi and click on next button and click on finish. Okay, once you click on finish, there are two window open, one schematic capture window and one source code window. In source code window we will write our code for Proteus software, and in schematic capture window we will create our schematic. So first part we will connect the LCD. So to connect the LCD, go to the component mode, then click on P and type here 16x2. Once you type 16x2, you can select 16x2 alphanumerical LCD, then click on OK and place that LCD here. Then after you place on LCD, then create a RW pin to the ground. So to connect this pin to the ground, go to the terminal mode, then click on ground and place the ground here and connect that ground to this ground pin. Then after that we have to connect RS pin to the Raspberry Pi GPIO 4 pin. So go to the terminal mode, then again click on default and place that default pin here. Now click on default pin, click on anti-clockwise, then move that pin in front of default, then connect RS pin to the default pin, then double click on this default pin and give here name GPIO4 and click on OK. So once you click on OK, then this default pin connected to Raspberry Pi GPIO4 pin virtually. Then after that enable pin we have to connect. So enable pin should be connected to 17 number. So I can go to the terminal mode, click on default and place that default pin here. Right click on this pin, click on rotate anti-clockwise, then connect that pin to enable pin, then double click on this pin and give here name GPIO17. Then after that you have to connect D4 to D7 pin. So take 4 terminal pin at a time, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then select all this pin, right click on this pin, rotate anti-clockwise, move all this pin in front of D4, D5, D6 and D7. Then connect that pin to one by one. After that D4 pin should be connected to Raspberry Pi 18 number pin. So double click on this pin and give here name GPIO18. Click on OK. Then D5 pin should be connected to Raspberry Pi 27 number pin. So double click on this pin, give here name GPIO27. Click OK. D6 should be connected to GPIO22. So double click on this pin, give here name GPIO22. D7 should be connected to GPIO23. So double click on this pin and give here name GPIO23. So in this way we have connected LCD to Raspberry Pi. So next module is servo motor. So go to the terminal component mode again, then click on P and type here servo. So once you type servo, select this motor PWM servo and click on OK and place that motor here. So once you place, one part of this motor should be connected to VCC. So go to the generated mode, click on DC and apply that DC here. Connect that DC pin to this pin, double click on this pin and give here voltage 5 volt. Pin of this servo motor should be connected to ground. So go to again terminal mode, click on ground and place the ground pin here and connect that ground pin to here. Now this pin of this servo motor should be connected to Raspberry Pi 24 number pin. So go to again terminal mode, click on default and place that default pin here. Connect that default pin to middle pin of servo motor. Then double click on this pin and give here name GPIO24 and click on OK. So once you click on OK, all the servo motor pin should be connected and this servo motor connected to Raspberry Pi. Now next part is COM pin. So we require COM pin to transfer the image processing output to Raspberry Pi. So go to component mode, then click on P and type here COM pin. So once you type COM pin, select this COM pin and place that COM pin here. After that, RX pin of this COM pin should be connected to RX pin of this Raspberry Pi. So this is RxD pin. So connect this RxD pin of this COM pin to Raspberry Pi RxD. So I can go to the terminal mode, click on default and place that default pin here. Connect that default pin to RxD pin. Double click on this pin and give here name RxD and click on OK. After that you have to change the COM pin baud rate. So double click on this COM pin and give here baud rate 9600 and virtual baud rate also 9600 and click on OK. So in this way you have completed your circuit. So if you want to give the box to this servo motor, go to this square box, then click on pin, then draw a box for servo motor. If you want to give the name here, I can go to the A and click on P and click here and give here name servo motor. Click on OK. Then go to this arrow, select this name, double click on this name. You can increase the size of this name. Click on OK. So in this way you can easily create this type of circuit in Proteus software. So once you create this type of circuit, we will see the source code of this project. So source code we can write in source code section. So I have already write my source code. I just open that source code here. Okay. Now we can see importance of each and every line from this source code. First line is import raspberry pi.gpio GPIO. So if you want to access any GPIO pin from Raspberry Pi, then you require this library. Next line is import time. So if there is time delay in your project, then you can require this time library. Next line is import PI and import port. So both this library basically used for the serial communication. So whatever the data from the image processing part that transferred to Raspberry Pi by using this COM port, and this COM port works on the serial communication. So that we will use serial communication. After that port.uart. So it is this line basically used to create the UART port. UART port nothing but the serial communication port. Now next line is servo pin 18 number. So in circuit diagram, servo pin is connected to GPIO24 and GPIO24 is nothing but the 18 number. So that we have given here servo pin to the 18 number. Now next line is GPIO.set mode to GPIO board to work Raspberry Pi as a complete board. So that we have declared here GPIO.set mode GPIO board equals and yield delay. This basically the variable which is used to create delay. We will see later what is use of this variable. Send delay 1, it is again the variable. Now next point is define the LCD pin. So you can see LCD RS pin is connected to 29 number as per the code. Let's see the schematic. So in schematic we have connected RS pin to 22 number. You can see here GPIO 22. So this GPIO 22, but this GPIO 22 is nothing but the BCM chip number. We have selected Raspberry Pi as a board. So on board it is 15 number. So you have to go here and change 15 number. Now next part is LCD enable pin to 31 number. So enable pin as per schematic we have selected 23 number. So here 23 number, but as per board it is 16 number. So give here 16 number. So next part is D4 pin, that is GPIO 4 pin. This is connected to GPIO 4, that is 7 number. So here should be the 7 number. Then next part is D5, that is connected to 17 number. So here is 17 number, that is 11 number as per the board. So you can see here 11 number D5. Then D6 is 12 and D7 is 13. So you can see D6 is connected to 18 number, that is 12, and D7 is connected to 27 number, that is 13. So as per the code we have connected all this pin. Now next part is we have to set that all this pin, that is Raspberry Pi pin, as output pin, because Raspberry Pi sends signal on LCD pin. That means that GPIO pin work as output pin. So declare that pin as output pin. You have to use this syntax GPIO.set mode pin name, then GPIO.out. So in this case all these pins are our output pins. So we have set all this pin here as output pin. So next part is define some device like what is the length of your LCD, that is it is 16 by 2 LCD. So that we have selected here LCD width is 16. Then character to LCD command is called. We will see the use of this variable later. Then line number 1 is 18, line number 2 is C0. So if you want to send some signal on LCD on first line, that is 16 by 2, there are two rows, first row and second row. So if you want to send on first row, you can use this syntax LCD 80, and if you want to send some signal, that is some message on second row, you can send C0. So we will see later what is use of this variable. So first line what is executed in program is LCD init function. So you can see LCD init function is here. So here first one is LCD init function. In LCD init function we have to send some command so that our LCD gets work. So this command is nothing but start the LCD, take the initial to first row only, message should be printed on first row only. All this command, you can see all this command, and you will see you will get details of this command on Google. You can search the LCD command, you can easily find the importance of each and every command. So main important part of this is how to send this LCD command from Raspberry Pi on your LCD. So there is function lcd.byte. Then you have to pass the command and LCD command. So the LCD command is nothing but the variable we have declared already here, LCD command to the false. So we will see this what is this function. So LCD command, it is jump to this LCD byte. Then after that here is select GPIO.output LCD RS pin mode. So what is mode? we have sent here mode as a LCD command, so means this is the command mode. So whenever there is a command mode, you have to select RS pin, and that RS pin should be the Raspberry Pi should send the 0 signal on that RS pin. So you can see LCD command mode, this is variable, and this variable has a value false. So whenever you are sending the command on LCD, you have to send RS to 0, that is RS 0 signal on RS pin. So that we have already created function LCD byte send command, and LCD command, this is nothing but 0 automatically send on RS pin with this function gpower.output LCD RS to 0. Then after that we have to send the data. So data is nothing but this is a 8 byte of data. You can see this is 8 byte of data, but in our schematic we have we use the 4 byte pin, 4 pin. So we have to segregate our data into 4 byte, so that we use another logic. So once this signal 33 number sent to LCD byte, it comes here. Then first part is set the command as a command mode. Then gpower.output, all these our 4 pins should be selected to false by default. D4, D5, D6, D7 should be the false. This means that the 0 signal sent on the LCD D4, D4, D5, D6, D7 by default. Then next line is if bits ending with 0 1 0, that is higher byte is equal to 1 0. So let's say this is 33 number. If you, so first we have to send the 33 number, 33 data or command on LCD. So in 33 we have to first aggregate the higher byte first and then lower byte first. So you can see this is our higher bytes and this is our lower byte. So from the higher byte we have to send the D4 first. So to send the D4 byte first, we have to masking with 1 0. So after masking with 1 0, you can see the D4 bits get one value. So if that value is 1, then we have to send one signal on D4. So that 1 again shifted to the D5, then again masking with 2 0, and if the value is 2 0, then we have to send the one signal on fifth number of LCD bit. So this logic applied to each and every pin D6 and D7. So once that this higher by bits get executed send on LCD, we have to shift the same logic to the lower bits. So again lower bits we have to send D4 first, then D5, D6 and D7. But in that case the masking is 0 cross 0 1. So we will see the code. So first we are sending 33, then the LCD bytes get here, then 33 mode is command because we are sending command. Then gpower.output LCD RS pin to the mode, that is mode is command, that is 0. That means 0 signal send on the RS pin. Then by default we have to send the 0 signal on each and every pin D4, D5, D6, D7. After that we are checking is first bit masking with 1 0 is equal to 1 0. If 1 0, then we have to send D4 to the true. If that is not equal to 1 0, then we have to already send false signal from here. Then second bytes from the higher bits 2 0. If this value is 2 0 after masking, then we have to send D5 to true. Then third byte 4 0, then D6 to true, and then last byte D7 byte. If we are masking is 8 0, then we have to send D7 to true. If any of this condition false, then we already send the false signal. So once you send the higher signal, you have to toggle the enable pin. So to toggle the enable pin, we are using this logic LCD toggle enable. So in that logic, we have to pass the high-low signal on the enable pin. So to pass the high-low signal, this is the logic time.sleep. First we are sending some delay, then gpower.output enable pin to a true. So it will send the high signal on enable pin, then time.sleep to the pulse, then it is sending some time sleep, then gpower.output LCD enable pin to a false. It is sending the 0 signal on LCD enable pin, then after some delay, so it will toggle the pin. So once you send the higher bits, we have to send the lower bits again. So same logic will apply. First we have to send the 0 signal on each and every pins D4, D5, D6. Then again masking with 0 1. So in this case is 0 1. We are first masking with 1 0 because it's higher bit, and this is the lower bit because this is lower bit. We have to send 0 1. So if the value is 0 1, then we have to send LCD D4 pin to the true value. Same for the D5, D6, D7. So in this case we are sending the data on LCD pin. After sending the data lower bits, we have to again toggle the pin with a toggle function. So this is the basic idea behind how to send the data on LCD. So once LCD get initialized, the next part is we have to send the welcome function, welcome message on LCD line number 1. So we have already defined LCD line number 1 variable, which is nothing but the 0 value. So LCD dot string welcome. So welcome is nothing but the array. So each array is divided into again 1 byte with their index. So index 0 contain W, index 1 contain E, L contain second index, then C. So this iteration we will do with by the for loop. So first go to the LCD string function. So inside LCD string function there is a message that is welcome and line is line number 1. So first we have to calculate the width of that message with this function. So once you calculate the width, we have to tell LCD that this message has to print on line number 1 by using this command, line command. So line command get execute with LCD byte. Same logic will execute. Then next is we have to iterate the welcome message. To iterate the welcome message, we will use for loop for I in the range of LCD width. So I is not starting with 0 and it incrementing 1 2 3 4 till LCD width. What will be the length of this message? So let's say first I is equal to 0. So LCD byte function get execute with parameter message of I. So I is 0, then message of I is 0, nothing but the W. Then LCD character. Then we are passing the character to the LCD byte, so that LCD with so that RS pin set to 1, and then our message get print. Once the W is sent on the LCD, we have to send the E. So I increment to 1, then E will send, and same with the same logic all the message send on the LCD. Now once the welcome message printed, we have to print the object sorting robot message on LCD. So to print any message on the LCD, we will use LCD string function. Then we will pass object sorting, then line 1, then LCD string object robot line 2. So in this way object sorting print on the line number 1 of LCD and robot will print on line number 2. Then some delay. Then after that we will declare servo pin as output pin, because Raspberry Pi send signal to servo motor, so that this pin will work as the output pin. So GPIO.set mode servo pin GPIO.out. So in this way we have declared servo pin as output. Now next line is we have to define the PWM frequency for this servo pin. So to declare the PWM frequency, we will use this function. After that we will initialize the servo motor by using this function p.start 2.5. Then after that our while true loop will execute. Then in while true loop, whatever the code present inside this while true loop, it will execute infinite number of times. So first line is while true loop is pi.uart_rcv. So basically this line is used to receive the data from the this serial port. So once the image processing part detects the color, then it will send some data, like for yellow color it will send Y, and for blue color it will send B. So to receive that data, we will use this line. So once the data received on this UART port, that data is stored into data variable. So if data variable is equal to Y, that means Y yellow color is detected. So to print yellow color detected on LCD, we will use this line. So by using this line we will print that message, then some time delay. Then after that p dot change duty cycle to 5. So basically p dot change duty cycle to 5 is nothing but to rotate the shaft of this servo motor to anti-clockwise direction. So that we have used this line. After that there is some delay. Again to set the shaft of this servo motor to middle side, that is normal size, that is initialized size. Then we will use p dot duty cycle to 7.5. So in this way, if the yellow part is detected, then we will shift the this servo motor shaft will rotate. Then after that, if the data from this line, that is pi.uart.receive, if the blue color is detected, then the data get B value, and if the data get B value, then we have to move the we have to rotate the servo motor to clockwise direction. To rotate the servo motor in clockwise direction, we will use p dot change duty cycle to 10. So this 10 means to rotate this shaft to clockwise direction. Again, to move the shaft to normalized position, we will use this line p dot change duty cycle to 7.5. So in this way we will move the shaft to clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. After that, if blue color detected, again we have to print blue color detected message on LCD by using the same logic. So if there is no color detected, then the data dot receive another value rather than Y and blue. Then if data is not equal to Y and blue, then we have to print no color detected message on LCD by using this line. So this is the basic logic behind this Proteus software code, that is Raspberry Pi code. Now we will see the logic behind the color detection program. So first two line import CV2 and numpy as num-mp. So basically these two line used for the image processing part. Now next line is import time. So I already explained you, time library is used to add some time delay in your code. Now import serial. So basically whatever the data that is color detector from this color detection code sent to the Proteus software. So to send the data from the one program to another program, we will use serial library. So that we will import serial library here. Now next part is serial.serial COM port 9600. So you can see we will use virtual COM port 1. How to create that virtual COM port 1 we will see later. So first we declare COM port 1 with baud rate 9600. So that in hardware part we have declared 9600 baud rate here. So here you can see we have declared 9600. So this is the reason behind this. So once the serial baud rate serial.serial COM port 9600 is initialized, then this object will create yes object. Now next line is CV2 video capture 0. So if you want to open the camera, then this CV2 video capture function will use. This 0 means you are using the laptop camera. So in case if you connected the USB camera, then you have to supply here 1. So in my case I will use laptop camera, so that I have given here 0. So once the camera is open, that this camera object created with this variable cap. After that while true function while true logic will start working. Then CR CB CG it is variable, we will see importance of this variable later. Then cap.read. So this cap.read nothing but whatever the video camera capturing the video, that video is converted into frame, and to store the frame we will use this function cap.read, and that video that frame store into two variable rate and im. Then CV2 CVT color. So whatever the image captured by this cap.read function, that should be converted into HSV form. To convert this binary image into HSV form, we will use this color. So why HSV form is used? Because this form very easy for the image processing. So that we will convert binary image into HSV form. After that this function return one variable, and that value will be stored into this HSV variable. Now next line is we have to define the lower boundary and higher boundary of our color. So let's say yellow color. So you can see mp.array. This function will use to create the lower boundary of yellow color. Then again same function will use to create the higher boundary of this yellow color. So for lower boundary we will use 20, 50 and 100 value. For higher boundary we will use 42, 25 and 25 value. 255, 250 value. So what this value mean? Because you can see you know that for each and every color there is RGB pixel, and each pixel has some different value. So for yellow color there is a different value for this pixel. So all these values nothing but the pixel. So now next part is once you get the lower and higher value for yellow part, next part is whatever the HSV image that we found by using this CV2 read and CV2 color function, that we have to map with our lower and higher value. So to map that value we will use CV2 inRange function. In that we will pass image, then lower and higher value. So once it pass, then it will count the how many number of yellow pixel in this HSV image. So that number of pixels store into mask variable. So in the same logic we will count each and every number of pixel for blue and for green color. So after that next line is CV2 IM show, then IM. So basically this line is used to show the whatever the video is ongoing by your camera on the windows. So this line is basically used to show the video. Now next line is CV2 count non-zero mask. So CV2 count non-zero mask means that how many yellow pixel present in your image, and how many black and white pixel present in your image. So to minus the yellow pixel with black and white pixel, we will use count non-zero. So once CV2 count non-zero mask, this mask is nothing but your image, is passed to this function. It will count how many correct number of yellow pixel present in your image. So then we will store that yellow number of pixel in CR. Then for blue color we will store that pixel number in blue CB variable, and for green we will use CG green variable. So once the CB, that is blue color pixel value, is greater than 4000, then we will print blue color on Windows on output window of this Python software. Also we have to pass the B value, that is blue color value, to Proteus software. So to pass the value we will use s.write function and then B. So once the blue color is detected, then s.write function will pass that value to Raspberry Pi. Now if there is a green color, then CG value is greater than 32,000, and if there is yellow color, then CR value is greater than 8,000. So in this way we will pass each and every color value to Raspberry Pi. Then Raspberry Pi take the servo motor action, and whatever the color value print on the LCD. Then whatever the color value print on the LCD by our Proteus software code. So if there is no color, then all this value below in all this value comes under this range. Then we have to pass s.write to n. N is nothing but no color. Then once the n is detected by the Raspberry Pi at their side, then it will print no color detected message on this Python output, also on the LCD. So this is the basic idea behind this code. Now most important part is how to run this project. So first you have to download this object sorting robot color detection zip file from my Google Drive. So if you want this code, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number, or you can write your email address in comment box. So once you download this object sorting zip file, just right click on this zip file, go to the save and zip and click on extract here. So once you click on extract here, you will find all these 4 files. Now once you find all these 4 files, go to the Python, just type Python in start bar, then click on this Python IDLE. So once you open the Python IDLE, go to the file and click on open button. Then go to your extracted folder and select color detection code. Select the color detection code file and click on open. So once you click on open, this Python file will open. Now next file is we have to open the Proteus file. So go to the Proteus software, right click on this software, click on run as administrator, click on yes, then click on open project. Then again go to the extracted file folder, then select this object sorting underscore robot file, then click on open. So you can see Proteus file will open. Also you can have Python file also, color detection file also. Now next part is you have to open this VSP software. So double click on this software. So once you double click on this software, go to the device, then click on create device, then click on connector, then give here comp1 name, and once you give comp1 name, click on finish. So once you click on finish, this comp1 will created, and click on green button. So now next part is first go to your color detection file, then click on run button and click on run module. So once you click on run module, this image processing code will start working. Now wait till no color detected message present. So once this message present, then you can see the camera will open at the bottom. So open that camera. Now open your Proteus file and click on this run button. Once you click on this run button, you can see welcome message, then object sorting message, then no color message detected here. Now click on camera and select that camera image here. Now you can see if you change your color here, then once you show the blue color from your mobile, you can see blue color detected message present and servo motor start rotating. So in this way you can run your project.